Alright guys, what's up? I have another phone review here for you, and this is the LG Volt that is on Boost Mobile as well as various other networks, including Virgin Mobile, Sprint Prepaid, and a couple other ones. This is one of the mid-grade devices that is offered from Boost Mobile, and it's not a bad unit. I had to change the launcher on this because, I'll be completely honest with you, this phone is a very quirky phone. It's a decent phone, but it's not the greatest phone that I've ever used, and I'll explain that here in a little bit. But here, I just wanted to kind of go and do an overview of some of the physical stuff with you. This phone is not currently active at the moment. I was using this particular device, and now I'm really, I steered away from it because I'm not going to lie, I got frustrated with this thing. So, here's a couple of things on the physical side of it. You have on the front here, a 4.7 inch QHD display at 227 ppi, which isn't a bad number here. You have a 1.3 megapixel camera here on the front, your speaker system right here for your earpiece, your menu button, which lights up here at the bottom, your home button, and your back button right here. On one side, you have the power on off button right here. You have the noise canceling microphone right here. You also have your 3.5mm headphone jack right here, and this little bit right here, which you can kind of see, that's actually like an IR blaster that you can use for your television. So you can actually use this as a quick remote, and it does have that quick remote feature on it, which is kind of a nice thing about this. As you can see, the phone is a little bit thicker. I think it runs close to 10 millimeters thick on this device, so it is a little bit bigger phone. It is a little on the heavy side. I'm not going to say it's a heavy phone, but it's not bad. You have your rocker panel button on this side, volume up and down. And on the bottom, you have your microphone, speaker. Don't let this fool you. You know, there looks like there's two speakers on here. There isn't. It's really one speaker that's right here, and your micro USB port here. On the back here, it's a textured plastic that you have here. So it's kind of a nice feel, I guess, to it. But most people put things in cases anyway, so, you know, it's not really that important. LED flash here, and you also have a 8 megapixel camera here. And the camera quality is actually pretty decent on this particular device. Yeah, I know. See, it's pretty responsive. The only problem that I have with this, and again, these are things that were the reasons why I was getting frustrated with this phone, is there's a lot of lag between, see, and it's got to reload the OS, and it just starts frustrating me. Okay, so I kind of got a lot of the basic stuff out of the way here. I know you're updating everything on my Facebook, and it's not relevant. God. See, it's going crazy right now, and I don't really care for any of it. Alright, so it has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 400 1.2 gigahertz quad-core processor on this particular device, which isn't a bad processing unit for it, but it's not the greatest processing unit either. It is a 32-bit system, so don't let anybody fool you as to, is this thing going to be upgradable to 5.0? Technically speaking, by processor specs, it cannot. It is not capable of running a 64-bit system, but you never know. They might be able to. It just probably won't carry all of the nice features that Android 5.0 has to offer. So I guess it can't be that bad of a unit. but it's an all right phone. It does have very good battery life. It has a 3,000 milliamp battery. Let me see if I can pull this cover off here. I got to figure out where it's at. And this is actually pretty thick plastic too. It's not flimsy by any means, but you can see 3,000 milliamp lithium ion battery that they have here in the back. You have your micro SD card port, and you have a SIM card slot right underneath that. This is the LS740 model, by the way, if you wanted to know that. If not, then forget anything that I said there. The GPU on it is an Adreno 305 GPU. It is running Corning Gorilla Glass 2 on the front. And it's, like I said, it's a pretty decent phone. If you want something that is actually has a pretty good screen quality, you really can't beat what this particular device gives you. And it's really not a bad phone. It fits in your hand rather well. But I particularly like more one-handed operation, which is why I have a complete other different phone. But one of the other things that I like about this is it does have the LG knock code on it, which you see on a lot of the like the G2, G3 devices. So that is something that I kind of liked on this. And there's a few other things that I have on here. Now granted, there's some apps on here that I probably could take off and would work maybe a little bit better on this particular device, but the problem that I have with this is the device is a little bit laggy. And this is connected to Verizon Fios Wi-Fi, which is an extremely fast Wi-Fi right now, and as you can see, it's a little bit laggy on their on the device itself on loading. It's not a horrible thing. It's just not something that I'm particularly very fond of with this device, and it frustrated me, particularly what I have to do for work every day requires me using navigation a lot. And a lot of the times this thing would take forever to load up or would lag, and it would just frustrate me. So there are some positive things. Now, I may have added too much on this device, and that could be why it's lagging behind, but it's a good device. Please don't get me wrong. It's a good device. I just don't think this is a great device. And when you think about for the money, this goes for $149.99 on Boost Mobile. Now, if you go to other websites, this particular device is going for a little bit less, but still nonetheless, like I said, it's not a bad phone. If you're on a budget and you're looking for a decent phone, this isn't bad. So, but to me, it's not my cup of tea. I'm not a huge fan of LG devices. I've had good luck with Samsung. LG, it's been hit or miss. The G2, G3s are great phones. I've got to work with them a little bit here and there. However, I haven't gotten a chance to actually do a video on one. But these devices that LG makes, particularly for prepaid devices, they just seem to lack what I need them to do. And I think that's what frustrates me the most on these devices. But again, it's not a bad phone. It could use a little bit more. Now, internal memory on this, 8 gigabytes of internal memory, only 4 is available to the customer. So you are going to need to get an SD card for one of these devices. And there's only 1 gig of RAM memory in it, which I think for the Qualcomm 400 processor, I really think it needs like 1.5 gigs or maybe 2 gigs of RAM memory for this to be a sufficient device. So, like I said, it's not a bad phone. If I had to give it a star rating, I'd probably give this 3.5. And it was great out of the box. I think anybody that buys this thing straight out of the box, you're going to say, wow, this thing's great, and it seems to get better. but you start downloading some more apps and you start bogging this thing down, and all of a sudden it just becomes frustrating. And I had to throw a launcher on here that actually used less RAM memory in order to run the device than the typical LG whatever operating system they use, because it's a modified version of Android. So either way, it's a good device, but I'm not gonna lie, it's not a great device. I would definitely throw it at 3.5 stars, maybe 4 stars, because the screen quality is good and it's got a good size to it. It's the camera quality is very good. The feel of it feels like a pretty solid phone, but it is very plasticky, very cheap. So you can tell that it's definitely built for that $149 range. It does have the LED behind the home button, which is something that I kind of like. And it does have like your VoiceMate, which is kind of like a Siri type device, or S-Voice. You have your Google search, and you have your quick memo right here at the bottom. So there are some nice things that this does have on it. And then you have your all your menus up here. So you have your all your setting stuff up here: GPS location, Bluetooth, sync, NFC, you know, Wi-Fi, quick memo, all that kind of stuff. You also have quick apps. These are ones that are built in for the LG device, so you can quickly get to your videos, your messaging, all that kind of stuff. And this is just something that's with the boot launcher that I have on here. It's, you know, for flashlight, your Wi-Fi to turn on and off Wi-Fi, all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, it's got some decent specs to it. There's some things that make it not as good, and it's not the worst phone that I've ever gotten to play around with, because I've gotten to play with some pretty bad ones on Boost Mobile that I haven't even gotten a chance to do a video for because I hated it that much. This is a good phone. I don't have a problem with it, but if you can find something that is cheaper and better, I would definitely, you know, throw the option out there. If you get a chance to play around with that Sharp Aquos, I think the Sharp Aquos is a pretty good bet. And I think there's a couple of other devices out there that might be a little bit better at the price range. But to me, this is a device that could be better, but is all right. And that's all I can really say. So if you have any other questions, concerns, all that kind of stuff, just leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, share the video. If you have anybody that's looking at buying this particular product, if this answered any information for you, share the video. Let people see what this is about. I've been doing a couple more videos on cell phones this year, because I think this is the year where you're going to see a lot of these budget phones come out. And that's what I wanted to kind of present to you guys, the viewers, was more budget-friendly phones than what you got with the when the Galaxy S3 came out, and some of the other phones that were like $300-400 at the time. So if you enjoyed it, again, share this, leave some comments, because the more views that I can get on this stuff, the more videos I can do for you guys, and that's what I want. I want to be that consumer advice type of guy for you guys, particularly if you're looking at cell phones. I love cell phones. I've been around smartphones since the day that they came out, and you know, I would really like to help every one of you guys be able to get a device that is great for you. So again, share the video if you like it, hit the like button. If you don't like it, whatever, and watch my other videos. Thank you.